guys, it's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with breaking news from the WNBA CBA negotiations. It looked like the league has offered the young ladies a 30-day extension. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to New York. Let's get it. Let's go. And we finna jump right into this thing. So as of right now, news has broken from Alexa over at ESPN about 5 minutes ago, guys, that what did I tell y'all earlier?
The WNBA just hit the panic button, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of a betrayal so shocking it could destroy the league forever. While Commissioner Cathy Engelbert scrambles with a desperate last-minute offer, Clark has dropped a bombshell accusation that's exposing lies, manipulation, and a civil war brewing behind closed doors. The 2026 season? It's not just in jeopardy, it's practically dead. And what happens next could either save women's basketball or bury it for good. Let me break this down for you, because what's happening right now is absolutely wild. Just hours ago, news broke from ESPN that the WNBA has offered its players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations for a new collective
face reality. 2026 WNBA season is cooked. It's cooked where it's cooked like Thanksgiving food. It's all cooked. It is over. It's done. Finito. There will be no 2026 WNBA season. As it seems, we were hoping for a 60-day extension because we know the October 31st deadline is 3 days away. No extension has been signed. The last time that there were CBA negotiations and a
bargaining agreement. Now, if you've been following this saga, you know that deadline has been looming like a ticking time bomb. October 31st is just 3 days away, and the fact that we're only getting a 30-day extension instead of the usual 60? That tells you everything you need to know about how bad things have gotten, but here's where it gets absolutely insane. Caitlin Clark, the superstar who single-handedly revitalized this league, just publicly accused her own players' union representative of lying about her involvement in these negotiations. Clark is saying she knew absolutely nothing about these talks until they were announced to the
guys that what did I tell y'all earlier? I told you. I stated I knew that they was going to get some type of extension. That is what I said. Now, I thought that they was going to get an extension for the 2023 negotiation, but it looked like they has offered the players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations for a new CBA agreement. It says time is ticking for a resolution one way or another, with Friday being the deadline. Now, this news is
world. Think about that for a second. The biggest name in women's basketball, the person everyone's been using to justify bigger contracts and better deals, is now saying the union has been dropping her name without her permission. This isn't just drama. This is a full-blown exposé of how broken the system really is. Commissioner Engelbert thought this 30-day extension would calm everyone down, maybe buy some time to work things out. Instead, it's backfiring spectacularly. The players who now have options with new leagues like Unrivaled and Project B, they're not even thinking about compromising. They feel the power shifting in their direction, and Engelbert's plea is falling on completely deaf ears. Time to face reality, folks. The 2026
season. Let's break it down. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video, man. Let's go. I'm pissed. I wanted to see Caitlin Clark absolutely destroy these ladies this season. I was ready to watch her cook them. Now, you're telling me we can't even get an extension done. This is wild. Let's head to Carly Bell's Twitter. Shout out to her. She said, could have almost guaranteed that the CBA wouldn't be resolved by October 31st. I think we all pretty much could agree on that. How
WNBA season is cooked. I'm not being dramatic here. I mean, it's legitimately finished. We're talking Thanksgiving turkey level of done. The October 31st deadline is 72 hours away, and there's no extension signed yet. In past CBA negotiations, extensions were always worked out well in advance because both sides were making progress. But right now, total radio silence. Zero movement. Nothing but hostility and finger-pointing. This deadline isn't just some arbitrary date on a calendar. It's a ticking time bomb that could trigger either a full player strike or an owner
for a resolution one way or another, with Friday being the deadline. Now, this news is like literally right off the press right now. I have not seen this article from ESPN. Like I stated, this thing has just dropped just now. Let's see here. It stated the WNBA has offered players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations for the new collective bargaining agreement, sources told ESPN on Tuesday. An extension
lockout. And you know what that would do? It would completely crush all the momentum Caitlin Clark built this past year. We're talking about erasing everything she accomplished, all the new fans she brought in, all the viewership records she shattered. One work stoppage could send women's basketball back to the dark ages, and it might never recover. The fact that Commissioner Engelbert only offered a 30-day extension is massively significant. In the past, these extensions have been 60 days long, giving both sides plenty of breathing room to negotiate. But 30 days? That's barely enough time to schedule meetings, let alone hammer out a comprehensive deal. It screams desperation. It shows just how far apart the league and the players really are. Everyone's dug in.
I think it'd be foolish to not sign an extension, but I understand what the power of not signing one can do. Listen, the ladies in the PA and Unrivaled, Bree Stewart and Nafis Collier and all of them, they are feeling like they can hold the W's feet to the fire and force their hand to give them what they want. No season, no extension is better for Unrivaled because that's where all the players are going to be. You already know that players have already agreed to contracts with Project B.
The stakes are astronomically high, and it's not just about money anymore. It's about the survival of the sport itself. Now let me take you back to 2019 for some context, because that's the last time we had CBA negotiations like this. But here's the thing, back then there was no Caitlin Clark. There was no superstar bringing in millions of new viewers and casual fans who'd never watched women's basketball before. Fast forward to today, and the league is riding this massive wave of popularity, all thanks to her. Despite critics, despite her own peers going against her and treating her terribly, she pushed through and ignited a whole new era for the WNBA. But if viewership starts dropping and fan interest fades, which is already happening, by the way, the league desperately needs a reset. Only a new deal can save them at this point.
Never, ever seen before. We're talking superstar player Caitlin Clark transitioning this game to the casual fan, making the casual fan want to tune in. And what did they do? Hurt her, pushed her, went against her. And guess what? Now they at a pivotal moment right now because fans are leaving. The views are dropping. Just look at the content creators right now. Look at everybody's channel right now. I can promise you the interest is not what it was a few months ago. Around this time,
a lockout would snuff out the fire Clark started and send the sport tumbling backward. The pressure on Engelbert right now must be absolutely insane. She cannot afford to mess this up, but it's looking more and more like that's exactly what's happening. According to sources close to the situation, players might consider an extension, but only if the circumstances are totally right. And guess what? Those circumstances don't exist yet. That's a huge red flag signaling broken trust and terrible communication between both sides. This isn't just some minor disagreement over contract details. This is a defiant move by the players showing they have deep-seated issues that haven't been addressed.
We watched the Players Association troll Adam Silver on Instagram, and then we saw the NBA get hit with a crazy gambling thing that's trickling down into the WNBA. Now the WNBA injury reporting being investigated. All of these things are happening. Adam Silver has a meeting with the feds on the 31st. You think an extension or a deal with the WNBA is about to be signed on the 31st? Come on, let's be serious here. Let's be serious here. The NBA is the real moneymaker. He needs to get that resolved with the feds first. Not being where he's not.
They're not asking for more time. They're demanding fundamental change in how the entire league operates. Engelbert's offer was supposed to ease worries about a potential lockout or strike, but the players rejecting it shows there's a much bigger, riskier game being played here. The fact that an extension was even necessary highlights how vulnerable the league is right now. This is breaking news that's literally coming off the press as we speak. The official statement reads, "The WNBA has offered players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement." Sources confirmed this to ESPN on Tuesday, with Friday being the absolute deadline for action. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said,
Pivotal moment right now because fans are leaving. The views are dropping. Just look at the content creators right now. Look at everybody's channel right now. I can promise you the interest is not what it was a few months ago. Around this time last year during the offseason, the interest was still high in this whole W thing. With everything that has transpired with Caitlin Clark this year, they need this thing to keep going. They need a reset button. They need a reset button for the...
said just last week that he was super confident there wouldn't be any lockout. But honestly, his words sound completely empty right now, especially with the WNBA on the absolute brink of collapse. It makes you wonder, did Silver really underestimate how much trouble the WNBA was in internally, or is this whole situation spiraling way faster than even he expected? A WNBPA representative confirmed on the Athletic podcast that negotiations haven't moved even an inch, painting this really grim picture. This isn't just a stalemate anymore. It's a total breakdown in communication, and it makes you seriously doubt there will be any quick fix. Silver's earlier confidence? Yeah, that looks totally misplaced as things continue getting worse by the hour. The league's future...
Let the agreement expire and enter into a status quo period. It is possible that if the agreement expires and no extension is reached, either side could announce intentions to enter a work stoppage, with the owners possibly locking out the players or the players going on strike. The owners want to have a season. The players feel like they have other options, and it benefits
is basically a high-stakes poker game right now, and the players are convinced they're holding the winning hand. Their reasoning makes sense when you think about it. The WNBA relies so heavily on star power, especially Caitlin Clark, who's drawing in unprecedented numbers of fans. The finals alone pulled in over 1 million views. That proves the league has this incredible momentum that they absolutely cannot afford to lose. If there's a strike, it would be devastatingly hard to recover from, setting the sport back years. Financially, the consequences would be enormous. The league could seriously decline if they don't get a deal done soon. This is pure business, and WNBA leadership knows they can't let this momentum just die out. The buzz that exists right now is something this league has never seen.
I missed this whole part. It says it will also shelve concerns over a potential work stoppage, either a strike initiated by the players or a lockout initiated by the owners. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert acknowledged during the WNBA Finals, while she was hopeful both sides will meet the October 31st deadline, we have been deadlocked in the past. So now it kind of goes back to what Adam Silver said. So Adam Silver stated last week, that it wasn't going to be no lockout.
In its history. We're talking about a superstar player who made casual fans actually want to tune in and watch. And what did the league do? They hurt her. They pushed her around. They let other players go after her. And now look where we are, at this pivotal moment where fans are already leaving and views are dropping. Just look at content creators' channels right now. I can promise you the interest is nowhere near what it was a few months ago. Compare it to last year's offseason. The difference is night and day. The biggest sticking point in all of this is revenue sharing. WNBA players are demanding to be treated the same way NBA players are when it comes to getting a piece of the financial pie.
Engelbert, that we don't know if they happened or not. She called you a liar. She said you're a liar. Caitlin Clark says she never heard about this until you got on a podium and said it in front of the world. That's a little shady to me. So at the end of the day, these players feel like they have the leverage, and it's looking like there won't be a 2026 WNBA season. And I'm truly upset and disgusted by it, man. I'm disgusted by it. Here it says, what happens if there's no deal by October 31st? There are two paths forward if there is no deal in place by October 31st, an extension of the deadline or...
Adam Silver has talked about bigger salaries, but he's totally against a direct revenue sharing model. His argument is that it should be about measuring growth, not just splitting revenue down the middle. This represents a huge clash of philosophies, showing a fundamental disagreement about what players are actually worth and how they should be compensated. The league sees player salaries as separate from total revenue coming in, and that stance makes the athletes absolutely furious. They're not just fighting for a bigger paycheck, they want a piece of the financial success they helped create. This gap between their philosophies feels impossible to bridge at this point, but wait, it gets even more complicated. The Players Association actually...
Because the ball is in their court. They need them ladies. They cannot let this league die. I'm telling you what I know. This is business. They cannot lose the momentum right now. They got the little... They got 1 million views on the damn finals and Caitlin wasn't even playing, bro. Like, what's the odds of something like that? Like, if they go on strike or anything, this league it's going to be hard to make up this ground, bro. That's all I'm saying, but let's finish reading. It said WPAA advisor leaguer Aaron D. Drake said recently on the on the Athletic Podcast, no off-season podcast, that there will be a new...
Trolled Adam Silver on Instagram recently, and then the NBA got hit with this massive gambling scandal that's now trickling down into the WNBA. Now WNBA injury reporting is being investigated too. All of these issues are happening simultaneously, creating this perfect storm of chaos. And here's the kicker. Adam Silver has a critical meeting with federal authorities on October 31st. That's the exact same day as the WNBA deadline. You think a WNBA extension is his top priority when he's dealing with federal investigators about gambling issues? Come on. Let's be serious here.
Deal. We don't see any of that. There's none of that. The player, we've heard Satu, all of these players come out and say, oh, it's like they're not even listening to us. It's like in one ear and out the other. They're not taking us serious. Then we heard the W say, hey, the WNBPA are lying to the people. They're lying about the negotiations. They're trying to get public perception on their side and bring in all these different people.
The WNBA and the Players Association are now engaged in a full-blown public war of words. Players are saying the league isn't even listening to them, that their concerns are being completely ignored. The WNBA is firing right back, accusing players of lying about negotiations and trying to manipulate public perception. This toxic environment of distrust and accusations makes any kind of productive conversation nearly impossible. Instead of working together to save the season, both sides are just digging in deeper and attacking each other. It's poisoning any chance of resolution, and this public feud is making an already terrible situation even worse. Commissioner Engelbert has acknowledged the possibility of an extension multiple times.
Growth as opposed to share revenue. So they trying to get revenue share, right? They trying to get the same thing NBA players got, revenue share. Y'all ain't getting it like them, bro. Y'all ain't getting it like them. Y'all can't do what they do. You know? I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Y'all ain't getting money like them NBA players. Y'all ain't getting views like them NBA players. So y'all can't hold yourself to the same caliber that they hold themselves to. You feel me? Like, It's levels to this, man. It's levels to this.
Saying she hoped for a resolution. But she's also grimly admitted, we've been deadlocked before. This history of stalled talks is haunting the current negotiations, suggesting there's a deep pattern of conflict that keeps repeating itself. Normally, an extension would be the most likely first step. But with all this animosity and distrust, even that seems impossible now. Here's something really interesting that most people aren't talking about. The Players Association being strategically silent about an extension actually serves their other agenda. Their refusal to sign means no extension is actually better for Unrivaled and those competing leagues. Why? Because a work stoppage would send...
And all of a sudden, Napheesa Collier is name dropping Caitlin Clark every 13 seconds. Every 13 seconds, she's saying her name. And this is all to push Unrivaled. They want to be able, she's collected so much money from these people investing in Unrivaled. How could she then turn to them and say, hey, we can't have Unrivaled anymore? If I just gave you $20 million for Unrivaled, I'd be damned if you come tell me there ain't gonna be no Unrivaled no more. And you ain't playing it. You've lost your mind. Napheesa Collier, I don't believe none of
all that talent directly to those platforms. It's a calculated risk, using the threat of a WNBA collapse to boost their own money and personal brands through rival leagues. There's this weird alliance forming where the WNBA's failure actually becomes a win for some players and their business ventures, and the doomsday scenario doesn't end on October 31st. If they don't reach a deal by March of next year, the 2026 season is truly and completely in jeopardy. That would basically confirm it's canceled. The season usually kicks off in April or May, so a March deadline means they can't make critical preparations without a deal in place. The league can't wait until the absolute last minute because running an entire season takes massive amounts of lead time. This March deadline is looming as the true breaking point. It's awfully convenient that Nneka Ogwumike is suddenly name-dropping Caitlin Clark every 13 seconds, constantly saying her name to push Unrivaled. Ogwumike has collected significant money from investors in this league. Think about the business logic here. If someone gave you $20 million for Unrivaled, could you then turn around and tell them it's canceled? Of course not. There are questions about authenticity and potential shady dealings happening in the background. Many people now believe Commissioner Cathy Engelbert needs to be fired immediately. This isn't just random internet talk. It comes from a strong feeling that some really low-down dirty stuff is happening behind the scenes and she's involved. People are blaming her for these negotiation failures and the likely cancellation of the 2026 season. The distrust in Engelbert's leadership is incredibly clear. She's being painted as either totally incompetent or actually complicit in the league destroying itself. So here we are. Cathy Engelbert's desperate 30-day offer has been practically rejected. Caitlin Clark's accusations are exposing serious betrayals within the organization. The 2026 WNBA season is hanging by the absolute thinnest thread imaginable. But this isn't just about a contract anymore. This is a battle for power, for money, and for the very soul of a league that's finally blowing up in popularity. The players feel powerful with these alternative leagues and seem ready to risk everything. As the WNBA deals with internal drama and outside scandals, you have to wonder, can this league, which has become a huge cultural phenomenon because of Caitlin Clark, actually survive its own civil war? Or will it be completely cooked before it ever reaches its full potential? The clock is ticking, and the answer is coming in just 3 days.